Boom! Live and on time. Welcome to Someone is Hot Micing.
Oh.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, okay. I don't hear it anymore. So, funny story happened to me very recently as I was at the supermarket. What the fuck is this? Shouldn't be here. I was at the supermarket. Came in. This guy came running in, right? Just fucking obviously had been running for a while, vaguely out of breath, probably lived nearby. He beelines for the juice aisle, which is in sight of the cashier, grabs 2 Tetra packs of banana juice at like almost 10 in the evening, goes to the cashier, pays for them quickly with great haste and speed, and then runs out. And as he runs out in the parking lot, he puts one of the Tetra bricks underneath his arm, and it sort of bursts, and there's like a sputter of banana juice that comes out. And the joke of this is that guy was me 15 minutes ago.
You did mention you were going for banana juice.
Yes, and what I actually meant banana juice, and so it's not. I think this is not the broken one. This is the broken one, isn't it? Does this smell like? Yep, this is sort of wet. Why did I get banana juice? Well, I'll tell you. I'm gonna make a traditional German dish now. That you might not know. And as all traditional German dishes, this one involves beer. So I'm gonna put this banana juice, a half glass of banana juice. And this is actually something that people really drink, by the way. This is not some kind of...
Well, people eat pizza with pineapple on, so...
fever dream I had. But now I'm going to put some Weizen beer up in this bitch. Mix it with the banana juice. Please don't do that. Ah, fuck. I made a huge mistake. I should have seen this coming.
Have you spilt something again?
By which I mean I did see this coming. But I decided not to act until it was too late. And now, too late is exactly what it is. Please don't kill my keyboard. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah.
You abuse your keyboard a little too much. Ow.
This is the live content people subscribe to this channel.
One guy hot micing because he can't get his sensitivity right. The other guy spilling shit all over his keyboard.
Listen, this is quality entertainment, my man. Look, this is like the...
Still better than Twilight.
You paid $20 for this. I just want to point out that, so I'm not not going to judge that.
I also spent 50 quid on Patreon to just get Star Destroyers named whatever the hell I want in someone's stream.
I would never do that. My immersion is much too important for this. Yeah, welcome. Hey, hello. I made this. It's Bananenweizen. It's Weizen beer with banana juice. It is very good. Oh, I haven't tried this specific one yet, but let's just... Yes, it is good as fuck.
I see it now.
It's very tasty, actually.
Looks very frothy, I'll say that.
Oh yeah, it's because I'm a failure of a human being. That's why it's frothy.
Well, I don't drink alcohol, so there's that. I don't know. I don't think I classify as human.
Do you just immediately inject it into the bloodstream as a like a normal person? No, I drink for pleasure.
No, I mean, I just don't drink alcohol.
Oh yeah, it's because you directly inject it into the bloodstream. It's absolutely impossible for a human being to not drink.
Well, I do call myself a deity.
Well, the deities are not allowed here. We're very racist against that, so, yeah.
Would a deity class as a race or a class?
Who even knows? Since when does racism make sense, motherfucker?
Well, depends if you're being racist to aliens or to other people of your own species. One makes sense, the other doesn't.
You can be racist toward aliens. I don't like
Well, no, that's my
Martians.
point, because they're actually a different race.
Yeah, well, so are gods. Deities.
Humans can ascend to gods, though. I mean, what's Talos?
But can they really, though? Can they really? I don't think so.
I don't know. John Williams keeps making masterpieces.
So yeah, this is Fast Food Thursday for all the new people that are watching this for some reason. Which is no one. Once again, like ever since I had a lot of people who qualify for Fast Food Thursday, nobody's fucking coming to Fast Food Thursday anymore. Which is, it's fine. That's if that's how you want to do it, then
you can do whatever the hell you want.
you want to leave me alone here with all the crazy people.
Well, there's one lurking, and then there's the guy that thinks he's a god. I mean,
Yeah, that's great cast of characters. I want to run an idea past you and also the audience. I've been thinking of like just getting to like talking to YouTubers and shit and like other people in a sort of podcasty format. I would call it a dumb conversation with, and it would just be a dumb conversation with people where we wouldn't talk.
idea for that: a gay moment with.
No, that would be too, gay. I don't know how many views the stream gets. I think, like, 10 views. This is for the people who pay me money. This is why I do these streams, is so they can hang out with me on Discord. But they don't, because apparently I'm not cool enough. So yeah, I would basically just talk about stupid shit with these people. I would have like possibly like a random generator that would come up with topics that we talk about, and then we would pretend that we know about these things, and get like stupid questions asked. Basically,
recently I've been looking up stupid shit like why sloth is actually considered a sin, and I guess you can be doing something that I'm guessing it was more of a sin in the past where not doing shit was actually more damaging than it is now.
well, I'm not sure that that's the format, but I'm not sure what the format even would be. I just want to have dumb conversations with people who are way above having dumb conversations is the thing. That's the idea, that I will waste the time of people who are very good at what they do.
Well, we could poll stupid conversations that have happened in the Discord. For instance, someone was asking, why does America teach metric system?
America is officially on the metric system. That is like the imperial system in the United States is defined by the metric system.
It should be like this person seemed to think it should have been like solely reserved for STEM, and I'm just like, if you think that, a Polish plumber immigrant has a higher education than you, like the people you actively shit on have a higher are more qualified than you, not wanting to learn what centimeters are.
They are Americans, so I don't want
That's the thing. They criticize metric system. It's like their gun caliber is in metric.
Yeah. My favorite thing is when they talk about the date system in America makes more sense for some reason.
Jesus fuck.
Because usually you say like October 6th, and then all you have to say is the 4th of July. Berger, what were you thinking about a political discussion debate with members of the JA? I have no idea who that is. And specifically, that podcast would be for not about political stuff, because it would be a dumb conversation with.
JA?
I have no fucking idea
Justice
what that is.
Army? Jamaican Army? I mean, a debate with anyone from Jamaica might be pretty interesting.
Hello, my friend Burger Creek. I just fucking. Do you listen to? Do you listen to reggae music for when you do marching? It's like, no, we are a legitimate army. Why are you asking me these racist questions? But you do all smoke like joints when you go into battle to make this band. No, we are a professional. Drugs are banned in Jamaica. Do you not know this? Yeah, that would be a great conversation. Junge Alternative. I don't know why I would want to talk to them. I mean, obviously, I know why I would want to talk to them. I want to talk to them in private, not on stream, or I don't feel like I need to have a political discussion or debate with like individual people. I like talking about politics, but I think that the debate as a format is way overrated. Because essentially, it's just about who can play the ball out of left field the most. And just make claims that they cannot back up. I think
Paul would always win that battle.
Because my experience with debates, especially like on the internet, where you don't have fact checkers, is that a lot of people will just make up shit. And if you haven't heard that particular line of bullshit before and know how to debunk it, you have to assume that the other person is arguing in good faith. Because if you say, no, that's not true, you're just a petulant child who won't accept the argument of the opposition. What's this? Üperlich. I actually know someone who claims to have done this, so...
It seems like it would work the first time, but they catch on.
What about Fahrenheit, though? I think that is the one unit with a solid case for it if the rest of the world wasn't using Celsius. No! What do you... No! I'm gonna tell you how Fahrenheit came to be. Mr. Fahrenheit went outside of his house at some point in, like, he lived in rural Germany, and he measured the temperature every day. And the coldest day that he measured was 0 degrees over the course of a year, and the coldest day was 0, and the hottest day was 100. And that's how that happened. That is what Fahrenheit is that just this one particular arbitrary year in this one small village in rural Germany.
Like, I mean, the only thing, like, in England we kind of still use is miles per hour, and there are two reasons for that. One, changing it just doesn't really change, like, how fast you are going. It's like, and changing out signage would be extremely expensive.
There's one road in America where they have kilometers.
Like, kilometers are good for measuring distance. When it's miles per hour, it's more of you measuring your speed. If you get me. From a normie point of view.
I'm gonna assume this meme that we posted about Kyle Kalinske was made by the Kyle Kalinske fan base, because Kyle Kalinske is actually like the best political pundit out there. Aside maybe from Shoe on Head on her Brainlit channel. That was...
a poll on her camera, and it's just like, no, stick with potato.
That is the that's the hard-hitting political commentary that is missing on Fox News. I can't be here today when camping with a friend. Just turn on the phone data to say hi. Have a good stream. Sandro, is there even camping in Portugal? Can you even do that? Can that even happen? Because I don't think so.
Invading Spain for a day.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Well, what I find interesting is not necessarily a debate, but more an explaining of each other's ideas and how they develop them without necessarily trying to refute them. That is actually like the kind of debate format that I like the most, where people just present their ideas. But that also like sort of devolves into
it always devolves.
Trying
when
to
you've got two opposing ideas, they naturally come to blow.
because it's
It's
like
like trying to get a Sunni and a Shia to have a conversation.
when I sit there and there's some guy talking about, like, I don't know, race realism and how that actually is just his opinion, it's very difficult for me to not explain to him why he is a big dumb.
Well, when it comes to the whole race debate, like there is no definitive difference between two peoples. However, some culture groups are better at some things than others because they have a better tradition at teaching that thing. You know, like Germany invading Belgium. Or
Can
Britain's
any
hate.
donator what join VC? No, you have to be $20 plus. But I have been considering doing it for $10 plus. No, Cetor, that's not true. Stop saying that. It's not Grand Patron. Or is Grand Patron only $200 plus? I don't even know. I don't even know how
Nah,
my...
Grand Patron is the one you're on about.
Okay, that's
When was the last time we touched the ranking system?
Listen, I don't know how my Patreon works. I set it up. I don't even know how my microwave works.
I do. It's the one thing that's stuck from school, how microwaves work. Basically, you vibrate the water really quickly.
No, that I understand that. I don't understand how to push the buttons on my microwave. I know the science behind it. It's like I
the
use this thing.
mechanical function, not the physics.
I use this
when,
thing
when you
almost
skip
every
stage 1
day.
and 2, but understand
Yeah.
stage 3 and 4.
I use this thing almost every day, my man. I press around on the buttons, and almost every time I get frustrated because it doesn't do what I want it to do,
God,
which is
fuck off, Miko. I'm not in the mood.
pretty simple.
Sorry about that.
Wait, the guy was a patron, but not eyed. What the heck? What the hecking frick? What would you define as nationalism? I mean,
Ein Reich, ein wie ein Führer.
why is it important what I define as? Here's how I would define nationalism.
One nation, one people, one leader.
Identification with one's own nation and support for its interests, especially to the exclusion or detriment of the interests of other nations, or advocacy of or support for the political independence of a particular nation or people. That's the dictionary definition of nationalism.
Was that both descriptions literally being the two versions that people tend to jump to?
I mean, yeah, that's what Google says is the definition. I don't know, from
Well,
Oxford.
nationalism to me is the revolts that fire in EU4 that make a nation independent.
I mean, yeah.
Stamp them out completely.
I mean, the people who try to do trying to make Catalonia, they are Catalonian nationalists, isn't it? So I suppose
Catalonia, as an Englishman, I can't support Catalonia independence, or I'd have to support Scottish independence.
that is true.
It's like why Spain doesn't you've got a lot of Europeans that won't support Scotland because that means they would theoretically have to support Catalonia.
Now that Alexander de Pfeffel is the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, I actually support Scottish independence.
What? You mean Boris?
Alexander de Pfeffel.
I thought our Prime Minister was Boris. What the fuck's happened? Did I miss something?
Just Google Alexander de Pfeffel. Is this the right one? Just add more beer here. Let's see if I make the same mistake again because I have the brain of an actual banana. And also post the Wikipedia link in chat when you find it, because I find many people don't understand this joke.
You talked to someone. What? Oh. I feel like well, I don't care about people's first names.
So just put this in then myself.
I feel like I'm English, everyone, and I didn't know that. This is
I'm gonna
how.
put this in chat. Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson. I am of the firm opinion that Boris Johnson chooses to go by Boris Johnson to appear more relatable. But in actuality, he is Alexander de Pfeffel. He is, after all, an Eton-educated super elite.
You know, I honestly think someone from like north of England, for once I'm excluding myself, that is a commoner, would run this country far better than any of the last five.
I'm sorry, but you think Boris Johnson would run the country better than any of the last five?
No, I'm on about people. No,
Or
not
just a
him.
random immigrant
random
Polish plumber?
Just a random. Well, who the fuck cares? Just give me a dart and throw a board.
Yeah.
Whoever's postcode that lands on, congratulations, you've been elected.
They're probably going to be better. That's true.
Let's have the board spinning as well. If I just frisbee the board out and whoever's window goes through, congratulations. But you're still paying for the window because it's England and the government's stingy.
So essentially, I refuse to call him anything but Alexander de Pfeffel.
I mean, you've got like Nigel Farage. It's like, who the fuck are these people and where did you come from? Because it wasn't
France.
England.
Well, you do realize that, like, Mercia was a thing?
Mercia.
And, like, there's
London,
England and France have had, there's a lot of people
if Scotland goes independent, I want Northumbria to go independent.
There's been a lot of, like, cultural interchange between France and the United Kingdom and, like, especially England over, I don't know, the past couple thousand years.
You could, never enough 1,000. 2066 would technically be 1,000 years of independence, you know.
Couple thousand years. There's the German, I think he used to be the interior minister, is Thomas de Maizière. He's German as fuck.
Interior minister. I never like the sound of that, like interior ministers.
Tolkien.
They sound like shady people.
Tolkien is a German name. So, like, we're in Europe. It's just
German or
one
Anglo-Saxon.
big fucking incest place. No, you're hot macking again.
I'm actually me.
I mean, you put in some headphones or some shit because I can hear myself talking.
Oh, give me a moment. It's probably because I've woken up slightly.
Oof. No. As it's fine how loud you are. It's just that I can hear myself
I'm
talking.
Changing the sensitivity.
Okay.
I've lost track of thought now.
Yeah, but it's basically we're one big pile of incest, one incestuous
I remember
continent.
what I was going to say now. I am glad everyone focuses on Alabama, because if it wasn't Alabama, it'd be Cornwall.
Alabama, cousin mama, take me round, family tree.
Remember when Spain was like badass and no one would dare fuck with them?
I actually, just to expand on this, it was probably 3 days ago that I woke up at like probably 8 in the morning, and the lady I'm currently seeing was sleeping next to me, and I was still like half dreaming, and I begin singing this song because that idea just came to me. And I don't even remember her reaction because I fell asleep immediately afterwards. But I remember singing that song. But that's the kind of shit, ladies, that you're gonna you know, if you ever date me, ladies in the chat, that's the kind of shit I do. I wake up in the middle of the night and sing.
My God, I just noticed
incest.
all your notifications on all of those Discord servers.
They're not notifications. They're like pings. I don't like I have all of the servers muted. There's one
See,
tab that I check,
have
and
one
that's the at mentions tab where I get mentioned personally. That's the only thing that I give a shit about.
I have 11 Discord servers. That's it. I purge frequently when I'm not using them, or they go
Like the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 servers. Those are like the servers that I actually care about and that I don't have completely muted.
Oh, I still mute some of mine.
Like I don't even know how many servers I'm in, but it's many.
I'm one of those people where if there's like something like one of those pings and shit, I have to fucking check it. That's why I don't have many Discords.
No, I'm not that kind of person, which is why I have a lot of Discords. Also, Wookie, you can join if you want to. Yeah, that's basically that is my life. Also, in other news, tweet by Team YouTube: a policy preventing copyright owners from making dollars on manual claims for short song clips, example 5 seconds of a song, unintentional audio, example from passing cars. Claimants can still block monetization or the video itself, but timestamps help you edit out the claim.
Oh my god, that sounds like a good change.
Yes, somebody was put in charge.
It's sort of all right. I got a better idea. Just like 5 seconds of code. You fuck them. They're not getting money.
No, but like this whole massive industry, of people making bullshit claims is just gone. They have no incentive to do that anymore. Like a huge part of that.
Checkmate.
Of course, if you lose like longer, more material and shit, they still have a
Well, then it slowly becomes like that. Like I can 100% understand why you would copyright claim someone who's post up the entire tune. I mean, that's the whole point of copyright claim.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of people who will copyright claim works that they don't actually own. There was a time when people would copyright claim the songs from like Kevin MacLeod, who I was surprised to find out isn't actually Scottish but American. Yeah. There was a huge industry around that at one point. There's like a lot of like bogus copyright claims about that shit because they just get the money. I want to
Want a what?
I want to do kebab or some. I don't know, some like taste food. I'm way past my calorie limit for today anyway. I just worked out a lot.
You follow your calorie limit?
Oh yeah, of course I follow my fucking calorie limit.
I've never done that.
Why do you think I lost like 20 kilos since the beginning of the year?
Then again, I've naturally been skinny, but relative ease for the longest time. I think only now it started hitting since I've actually had a consistent diet since starting.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 25.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Then you're lucky. Actually,
it's like I will weaponize my own slothfulness as well. Like if I need to, like, oh no, I've got a bit chunky or I'm eating a bit too much, I'll just go, I can't be asked to eat now.
I've booked my vacation to Amsterdam for the meetup. It's good. That's going to be pretty cool. I found out that it's actually extremely expensive to like stay in Amsterdam. It turns out it's actually very cheap to get to from where I am, and also like the public holy shit!
Well,
yeah, I can get like a week ticket, a week's worth of ticket where I can use any bus or tram or subway in all of Amsterdam, 24 hours a day, and it costs like $30. It's so fucking cheap. Yeah. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, isn't like a lot of Amsterdam's secret money it makes is just by influxing all of Europe with fucking marijuana?
Oh, actually, it's those are the ones that are not in Amsterdam, the coffee shops that are closer to the border. But yeah, they're basically like, there's weed is legal over in. But they're trying to get. It's
how
like
Luxembourg is like the tax dodging center of Europe.
Europe is basically made of tax dodging centers, which is why I love that like back in the day when the Brexit debate was in its early stages, I saw a video by Sargon who went, well, if you don't let us leave the EU, we're going to become a tax haven. And it's like, dude, do you like know that YouTube that
London
fucking
is a tax haven.
First of all, that
This is like why I was watching news because like I got a break and shit, and that's the only thing on TV. And there was like fears of another recession. It's like, see, we're taking the whole world with us.
like Europe is basically made of fucking tax havens. And it's like all of the most important tax havens in the world, with the exception of Singapore and Panama, you can access them from Europe because they belong to one of the like member states of Europe, like St. Martin and shit. That's a Dutch colony. It's like, what are you
Panama.
even? Jesus Christ!
I wonder how many files and records of pedophilia are in Panama.
Oh boy. Well,
Like that.
not as many as were in Jeffrey Epstein's head. Ooh. But not anymore. I actually considered, I was at a GM channel run yesterday, and I considered just spontaneously making a run where they have to break into a New York prison and fake a billionaire suicide. I have yet to meet a single person who actually believes that he killed himself. And this is, I talk to this about people who just do not follow the news in general.
I think the last time that there was this big of a conspiracy theory, it was with Diana.
This is not even a conspiracy theory. With Diana,
it's all true.
With Diana, there is a reasonable doubt for the conspiracy theory. But there is just no way that Epstein actually killed himself. It's like, oh, that he was on suicide watch, but the two guards that were supposed to watch him got called away for a couple hours for bogus reasons, and then there just so happened to be a camera malfunction at this specific thing. And there's like a lot of prisoners who were in this specific situation, in this specific prison, in that specific cell block have said that it is impossible to kill yourself there.
I think it's funny. Like they seem to have got really bad at hiding this since the collapse of the Soviet Union.
No, I think they don't give a shit anymore. Is the
Because
thing.
you can't do anything. Well, what are you gonna do? Like, that's
Yeah, it's like what's gonna happen now? What are they gonna do? Fucking Barr said, "Ooh, holy shit." Oh, Jesus. It's Attorney General Barr. It's Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein Barr virus. What the fuck?
Well, we know what the next one's gonna be.
Yeah, it's like just people who
What
don't
I think is
follow
hilarious,
the news.
right? The absolute irony is that these same elites are there in the UN, trying to ban lolicon hentai.
Wait, who?
No, like all the elites that kiddie fiddle and shit, and then they're going to UN with their like resolution of child.
Yes, they have to
fucking
listen. They have
hentai.
to keep it exclusive because if pedophilia gets normalized, it's not fun anymore.
If it gets fucking normalized, oh my god. How it's like I remember watching something that was like 100 Ways to Die, and like it's like the new number one: be a pedophile openly in public when it's legalized.
Or, you know, be a billionaire pedophile who, like, gives people pedophile trips on a pedophile jet and then get imprisoned. That's also the number one way to get killed. It's like, I could, like, if I called up my grandmother right now and asked her if Jeffrey Epstein had killed himself, she doesn't follow the news. She would know that he hadn't done that. That's how nobody believes this. People in fucking China, where like they think everything the government does is right. It's like, no, he definitely not kill himself.
To be fair, like China, this is one of those things China's government news would jump on just to show how bad democracy is.
I love how, like, no, they pretend to be democratic. I love how when it was fucking Khashoggi getting killed, and the official line was, "Oh no, he just sort of it just I don't know, he just disappeared and he just sprung into pieces randomly, and the Saudi crown prince he has no involvement in this." And like everyone back then was like, yeah, this is bullshit. Like even the media was like, yeah, this is bullshit. But now that it happens in America, ooh.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, nobody. Even if he killed himself, there must have been deliberate negligence to cause the suicide. Yes, exactly. There was, fucking Chris Reagan did this tweet where he said, "Does suicide watch mean they just watch you suicide?" That's basically.
See, the joke's on like these elites. Like, if they legalized euthanasia, they could have legitimately get away with it.
No, because then they would have had to like say that he wanted to get euthanized. Though I am in favor of euthanasia. Though I would get if euthanasia was legal, I would be too paranoid to ever see a doctor.
Why?
I mean, I do have like
Imagine your doctor just be like, just neck yourself.
No, because listen, I would like they are out to get me. Like I have like very low level paranoid schizophrenia. It would not be nice.
Oh, I don't have that. I just don't trust anyone anyway. It's like, why don't you go to a doctor about that?
I trust random.
Like, I'd rather not.
I trust random people on the street. I don't trust like people that I like. That's basically my how it works.
Are you just afraid of getting close to people?
That anyway. No, I actually like being close to people, but it's like I get these like
I don't trust my friends. It's a good thing none of them know that this channel exists, I guess.
I get these pseudo psychoses where I believe that something is true while I know that it's actually not true. And it's often like some bullshit.
Been talking to you until you get to that stage. I don't think you're that.
No, it's like you have these intrusive thoughts about like you're lying in bed next to a person, and you're just convinced that they're actually a monster that's going to eat you in a minute. But you know that that's not true because obviously it's not fucking true. Who would believe that? But also part of you is convinced of it.
The best kind of intrusive thoughts are those where you just suddenly want to shag a friend, you know, despite that friend being in a relationship with another one of your friends.
I rarely get that impulse. Like people that I know.
Well, normal people rarely get it. That's the point. It's still an intrusive thought.
I don't think it's not normal. I think people fantasize about each other. People covet their neighbors' wives. It happens.
I mean, it's happened for at least 2,000 years, I guess. I mean, if we're going on like religious talk, the whole "thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife" is one of the commandments, is it not?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go limb. I mean, let's give them some benefit of doubt. Let's say it's been around for at least 2,000 years.
No, I don't have War Daddy. I don't have dissociation. I just have a lot of introspection. They're like pseudo hallucinations. They're also a thing that's real. Is where you get sensory stimuli that aren't there, and you know they're not there, but you still get them.
I mean, this joke's a bit more relevant these days.
It's this. The US Army wants to create biodegradable bullets that plant flowers where they fall on US schools in 5 years. Nice.
That's an old one that I've had in storage. I've just realised, wow, this is even better now.
You invested early, and now you're reaping the profits.
that fucking meme sales. Gotta save them up for when we leave.
That's how America makes money. It's just the school shooting industry. That's why you're number one in the economy. It's just worldwide economics.
You know what? If they actually banned firearms and like because of the weird economy situation we're in right now, it's like people associate them banning firearms because that's what the NRA will do with the economic crash.
I want more beer, but I also don't because Weizen really makes you full.
I'm also someone who's like, go on, America, ban violent video games. Do it, go on.
Oh, I would just love it if they did that. It's
I
like, holy
want to
shit.
see what they blame next. Like, I'm genuinely curious. It's like, well, you already banned violent video games. Illegal violent video games. Ah. them fucking smuggled Call of Duty copies. God, I'd love to report someone for playing Call of Duty. That'd be funny. It's like, this is what you get for a bad taste.
It's like... It's like your fucking house is on fire, but you ban the cars being on the sidewalk, and you don't actually do anything to put out the fire. It's like, listen, there was cars on the sidewalk when the house was set on fire, so... Listen, I don't want to say nothing, but definitely that's what happened.
It's just... these stupid excuses that come up for their own... like bad culture. Like you've got like those. I remember reading somewhere like you know one of those glance headline things, and you automatically know it's bollocks. So you don't actually look any further. But it was like Japan doesn't have violent crime with like with the whole gun shit because it doesn't have video games. So like 90% of them come from Japan.
Yeah.
My
favorite thing was when
it's like, these violent video games teach you to be an extreme marksman. I remember seeing one of them. It's like, so Korea.
Oh, I remember this debate. I remember this debate from back in Germany. Like every time there's a mass shooting here, which is like actually very rarely. I think the last one. Let me see when the last
government sanctioned.
Well, let's see when the last mass shooting. Mass shootings in Germany. See when the last one was. List of massacres in Germany. It's set the bar a bit lower. Okay, there's a lot of course, in the medieval period. Wait, this is... Why is this... No, okay, wait, what? This doesn't make sense. No, okay, I just looked at that wrong.
So, okay, I was looking for mass shootings in the United Kingdom, right? So you got like your 70s, 80s, 90s...
Oh, actually, 2016.
Right, but there's a category in of its own for mass shootings in Northern Ireland.
There's there's one for in Germany also. On the 22nd of July 2016, there was a mass shooting in the vicinity of the Olympia shopping mall in the Morsach district of Munich, Germany. An 18-year-old Iranian German, okay, he was a terrorist. Same with the 2016 Berlin attack, which was a truck. Winnenden school shooting was the last school shooting that we had in 2009. 16 dead, 9 injured.
If anyone in watching this, you know, out of the 18 people, ends up becoming a mass shooter, right? Let me just lay down some challenges for you, right? Don't use a fully auto weapon. In fact, don't use a modern firearm. If you can get more than 100 kills with a blunderbuss, you will have earned my respect.
It's like when you take the fucking mods in Osu so to make the game harder and get more points.
It's like a flintlock mass shooting would, like, I'm sorry, but if you were hit by that weapon, like, unless you were the first one and they were being, like, you know, stealthy about it, you know, loading that rifle. Because if you load it beforehand, you're gonna spoil it, and then it'll just fizzle. You won't get a bang. So
yeah,
imagine we're sneaking up behind someone, pulling it out, getting the ramrod, fucking loading a flintlock rifle. The real question is, would the normie public understand exactly what you're doing right now?
Here's the thing. Oh, after World War II, yes.
Imagine being in like in USA and they've got like those police barricades up and they're like telling him come out here hands up, but he's only got like one shot in his flintlock.
They'd make it a good one.
Yes,
It's like make this count. He praises to whatever Jesus Allah shit he's graded. It's like makes the shot, it hits, but doesn't do anything, and that's the moment they rush him.
Can I have like I knew that there was a compiled list that wasn't just fucking Africa and like continents individually. Because I know that the highest number of people killed in a massacre was
In China.
In
when the
China,
government
yeah,
sanctioned it.
was actually bomb blasts. I remember that the biggest like massacre was a mass stabbing in a subway station in China somewhere. Because leave it to the Asians to do it better than white people.
Like it's like people who hunt, right? I think we should legalize hunting, but you're not allowed to use automatic weapons. You're not allowed to use modern firearms. You have to use a bow and arrow or a sword.
Which
And
is
it's like, go ahead, you get that ivory.
if you use like modern like recurve bows and shit, it's
They're not very designed for actually downing an elephant, though.
Yeah, well, most people don't hunt elephants.
It's like it used to be like this thing of symbol of pride of like, I've killed this. It's like, yeah, but you used a fucking MG42. No one cares. I mean, it's like, but if you used like a short sword to kill an elephant, I would genuinely be impressed you survived. It's like always. This is probably the British sort of side of me thinking you're gonna give it an even fight, Despite that high upper class wanted to hunt foxes. I'm like, I don't mind hunting foxes, but when you use 400 dogs, it's not exactly a fair fight now, is it?
Well,
I mean, grabbing a fox by bare hands and snapping its neck before it rips your face off. I mean, by all means, go for it.
that's the country Tories, isn't it?
Fucking country Tories. Oh yes, in my SUV. That has this like with comfort mode and beverages served. It's like fuck off.
I'm gonna get some beer.
Jesus, like I don't. It's like when it comes to like your fights and your fucking. I mean, if it was a mass murder with your bare hands, like it's like I would be impressed. I mean, you somehow managed to evade the cops long enough to get 100 kills with your bare hands. I mean, that would be impressive. But gunning people down with like an LMG, it's just like, yeah, you bitch ass coward. I mean, granted, if it suddenly becomes warfare and you take down the main battle tank with nothing but a pistol and a grenade,
Listen, if you
congratulations,
do a mass shooting in a tank, that would actually be I would respect the logistics of that. I wouldn't respect the action.
You have to get up,
But the logistics of getting a
load the
tank.
cannon, go back into turret position, turn turret, check where you are, then fire. Then you'd have to. It's like
I
it's
think
too
the
much.
primary problem would be getting the tank. Because automobiles are much more regulated than guns in the United States, so yeah.
I think it's funny when people say, "Oh, but haha, America can have a flamethrower." It's like you get shot once with that flamethrower from anyone, you will die because it will explode. That's the nature of a flamethrower. It's like why people think, "Oh, I'm gonna mass murder with a flamethrower." Yeah, good luck with that.
No, that's just a funny image. No, there's like for mass murder, America has much more effective tools legalized.
Yeah, but why would you use effective tools? Like it's like people that's like play games and say, "Oh, I got world conquest with like France or the Ottomans." It's like who the fuck cares? It's easy. Do it with some backwater Ooga Booga nation. It's like do a mass murder with like a bow and arrow. Like come on, people. I mean, they're doing this to try and somehow like get this sort of prestigious image. Like I guarantee you, they will tell you your name on live TV if you kill 500 people with bow and arrow.
I mean, they will also tell your name on live TV if you kill 500 people. I don't think that makes a big difference. Though I am liking this new trend of them just not saying the names in many cases. Especially like on the internet, because it turns out
the person that arson the fucking studio in Japan can rot in whatever fucking seven hell he deserves. Why you arson them, I don't know. They're shitty, like, living conditions with that job, despite the masterpieces they produce, is hell already. You didn't actually have to set them on fire.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, but what I was saying before you so rudely interrupted me is I don't know what I was saying because I forgot. Because that's what happens with my short-term memory. Oh yeah, it's the thing, because apparently like Philip DeFranco has more journalistic integrity than CNN, which is just a sad state of affairs.
I was also referring to the arson attack, Kyoto Animation.
Arson attack. Dozens are in hospital, some in a critical condition after the attack on the Kyoto Animation Studio. Okay, that's fucked up. Yeah, but
All that being said,
I like the thing about them not saying the names. Though, frankly, I don't think that many of them do it for the fame.
It's like when, and the other thing is when people are like when people like, it's like, oh, I hate life, I'm just gonna end some people. It's like, why? Like, I'm pretty sure the people you just shot are just miserable with their lot in life, because you know you're not gonna hit anyone.
Well, not anymore, innit?
It's like if you're gonna do some like mass shooting, just like go for like people that are actively wronging the world. I mean, attempt to be Batman for 5 minutes in your life instead of the Joker.
I had a friend who said that if he ever was diagnosed with a terminal illness, he would go to like a certain German television station and do mass shooting there.
Look, I know you want to, people with these like studio, but they're not the problem. They're like the
No, they are the problem. No, that's what I was saying. People who do evil in the world, they are exactly that.
Yeah, but I know news and TV are considered evil, but
No. This is about specifically this one particular station.
Is it a fascist one?
No, they make reality television.
Ah, okay, I can sympathize.
So it's, you know.
Like my grandmother is hypnotized by Neighbours, and I constantly remind her, it's like, you do realize it's nothing like Australia. Like,
wait, what the fuck was that sentence?
You know, there's a reality show like called Neighbours, and it's like meant to like be based in Australia, or like the theme is they're in Australia, and it's like your real neighbours in Australia are like 500 miles away.
Oh yeah, no two people in Australia live nearby from each other. That doesn't happen. There's a total of 5 people living in Australia, in case you don't know this. And 4 of them are the Steve Irwin's family, so...
Rest in peace.
and one of them's on your stream.
God damn, who here is Australian?
Wookie.
Well, you're Australian, you don't sound Australian.
I don't know. I'm
Oh, now you sound Australian.
oh,
I thought you were
there it is.
American, my man.
Thanks a bit. Oh.
See, it's the Irwin family and Wookiee. That's all the people who live in
A
Australia.
single Wookiee that he's lost.
Gets pretty lonely out here.
Wouldn't that technically be a drop
I guess that's
bear,
what
then?
happened when like, that's the thing. When after Han Solo dies, it's like Chewbacca is stuck in Australia.
The darkest timeline.
Eventually, he just does the growling with an Australian accent. Mate.
It would be funny him being stuck in Australia, suddenly learns Aussie English, and he just like jumps into Falcon. All right, we're off on a gardenser now, just going for a walkabout across the galaxy, mate.
Look, it wouldn't be a far cry.
Where'd you live in Australia?
I live in Victoria, so like the southeast.
No.
So in one of the good parts, isn't it? Not in the death part, which is most of Australia.
There's three good parts. There's here. There's the one with the fireworks, and the one where all the new high school graduates go to party.
I have this. There's a good friend of mine. He wants to move to Australia. He wants to get some property by the Murray River, and grow wine, which is apparently,
Australian.
from what I hear, is what all Germans do that move to Australia. Because there's a lot of Germans in Australia, and they just all have their own like vineyards.
Why?
Most Australian wine is very good, but most Australian wine is actually made by Germans who live in Australia. This is a true fact.
That seems like the weirdest thing for Germans to. It's like, well, we tried twice going through Belgium. I'm going to Australia to plant vineyards.
Oh no, Germany is a big wine nation. Like the Palatinate is one of the world's.
I can hear the French going, "What heresy is this?" Never mind about me.
The Palatinate is one of the world's foremost wine regions.
Palatinate, one of the electors.
What?
Sorry, my map knowledge comes from Europa.
Yeah, well, that one, yeah, it's that area, and that's one of the world's foremost wine regions. They make very good wine there.
France, you're slacking. You're not even good at what you say you are.
No, not Rhineland, Palatinate.
No, I said France. Like, France is
No,
slacking.
I was talking to War Daddy. This is not about you. Yeah, so what do you think of that plan, Wookie? Is that a good idea? Should he do that?
Oh well, I haven't the foggiest.
Okay, well, great talking to you tonight.
Good talk. Yeah, good to be on the show. Yeah, there's a lot of vineyards out here. So he definitely wouldn't be the first. I'll say that much.
Like his surname is like something that would be a wine, but I'm not gonna dox him here, obviously.
Fair.
Instead of just posting a fucking Wikipedia link, he posts the Paradox EU4 wiki link for the Palatinate.
Yeah, man.
Because that's a realer representation of the world.
It is. You tell like there's no difference to me between the European Union and the Holy Roman Empire. It's just by a different name.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're not wrong. The only functional difference is that
Like,
imagine this: like the European Union. The European Union is like an empire where they don't conquer anyone, but the nations have to apply to join, and most of the time the EU is like, no, you're not good enough for us.
Like I honestly like. Everyone likes to meme, you know, the people that hate the EU go, "Oh, it's just Nazi Germany 2.0," and I'm like, no, it's the Holy Roman Empire all over again.
Which,
like,
frankly, is Nazi Germany like point.
It's what Nazi Germany wanted to
and
be.
Yes,
and
Nazi Germany is the Holy Roman Empire 3.0.
Like, I actually like I think like I heard someone once say, "Oh well, it was the closest Germany got." No, Germany got.
Oh fuck, Ironfront! You
Hitler.
don't have your patron roll. That's fucked up. Why didn't you get your patron roll? Didn't it automatically? Can someone give Ironfront, one of the mods watching? Can you give Ironfront his patron roll back? Like not just like the grand patron thing, but also the whatever his custom roll was. I think he had one. I might be wrong about that. That would be very nice. Thank you very much. Sorry, Ironfront, that I didn't catch that. I don't check like other messages that I get during the stream. I don't even leave this channel because people may well send me CP and it would be immediately on stream. So I'm very careful about that. Yeah, and I can't like go into the thing now because that would reveal information about the server and shit probably.
Isn't there technically a way to like freeze OBS screen, as it were, for like a short moment?
There may well be that, but I don't know what it is.
I've
I
lost.
mean, aside from
yeah.
maybe this,
the
and
whole.
I just turned off the capture source, which may well be a thing. But now someone else is doing. I hope someone else is doing it. If no one else is doing it, I'm going to do that and assign the role manually because this is not an acceptable situation.
The thing I find annoying though is when people seem to think the Nazis were ever going to accomplish anything. Like, they were
going to conquer the world, but then Japan came along and had to fucking do Pearl Harbor. Jesus Christ.
No, the Soviet Union, like, as long as America was giving like supplies to the Soviet Union was going to win.
It was America was giving like a handful of boots to the Soviet Union. People overestimate how much that was.
But like the Nazis, it was too late. Like, Imperial Germany might have had a chance if their plan actually.
Well, I think the primary problem was that they were one nation against all of them. So
the real problem is Germany needs to stop hiring Austrians to do shit.
No, the Italians were the problem. Let's be clear about this. It was the Italians.
World War I started by Austria, not Germany, and World War II was led by an Austrian. Like, literally, Austria, you are the worst empire builders in the world.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that Germany gets blamed for World War I, because just objectively it's not true. It's just that they said that in the Treaty of Versailles, but it just isn't what happened.
Treaty of Versailles.
And that directly led to World War II, so really the Treaty of Versailles is to blame. Is someone giving Ironfront his ranks? Please someone be giving Ironfront his ranks. Thank you very much. I don't even know if any mods are watching. There's actually a mod with me here in the fucking chat.
But he's muted.
He's muted. But he's not deafened. Okay, I'm gonna fucking close this down now and do this myself. Oh no, this is gonna be way more complicated than I thought. This is where you cue the operations music from the fuck? From what is happening? Discord, why you gotta be like this? My patron. Grand patron. Did you have a custom role? Western Wasteland? No, I don't think you did. No, it's no problem. This stream is not interesting anyway. It's Fast Food Thursday. Who the fuck even gives a shit about this? So we've been talking about mass shootings for like I don't know how long.
That's another thing on mass shootings. Like, look, no single person is gonna beat Mao's record.
By the way, I gave you the rank. Fucking Genghis Khan did. Way before Mao was even a thing.
Yeah, but that
and also, look, that doesn't count though. No, but because that's like saying, oh, the fucking this player is not going to in one game shoot more goals than this other player in an entire season or his entire career.
If we're gonna go mass killings in a single moment, the people on Enola Gay who dropped the nuclear bomb. Even shared, they win.
That's military, though.
Also, people who say, "Oh, they were going to surrender any bollocks." You have no idea how like jaded the fucking mentally jaded like the people were. Like, it took that like symbol to really click them out to realize, no, this is just going to go south for them.
Ian, can you talk? Because I'm not hearing anything from you. Is everything good with the technical setup? You sound like one of those machines that people put in their throats when they smoke too many cigarettes.
Sounds like a B1 battle droid.
I'm in the middle of Kansas.
Say Roger, Roger.
It's kind of cool, though. I might make that my new ringtone, my man. This is fun. You
Say
say
the line, Bart.
you say it's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna. Oh, your volume is already 200. Fuck. That's actually it's like some fucking sophisticated voice filter. Lol, throat cancer. That is precisely the tone of this live stream, my man. You got it. Wouldn't the firebombing of Japan have mostly deadly single attack? Japan didn't even surrender after the first. I love the guy who was at both nukes.
Oh, I've heard that story and survives.
That's like if you work in the Second World Trade Center and a plane that like flew into the building next to you that looks exactly like yours, and you go,
Oof,
this is probably not going to happen again within the same hour.
I actually remember seeing it on news, like, and I'm in England. And it's like when you're that young, you're just like doesn't quite click. But I see the changes since.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on the evening news as well. I lived in Spain back then. I was like, what is this just a thing that happens? Is this just the world that I was born into? Like, I didn't know it was I knew it was a bad thing, but I had no context for how terrible it was. Because I think kids in America would have, because everything went to shit. And we had, like, the next day, we had a minute of silence at the school, and we talked about how war is bad. Which is not even like that. It wasn't war, it was terrorism.
We didn't have that talk in my school, because it's like, imagine having war is bad, and then there's me, this autistic kid, is like, but how would you insert all the territories Rome conquered?
Yeah, I think I said something similar to that, and I got punished for it. I remember that I got punished for saying something after that. That I remember. I don't remember what it was though. I think it was a joke.
I was like zoned into the fact that we're gonna maybe it's like I kind of knew as a kid. There's like we're gonna go to war over this, aren't we?
Yeah, with people who had nothing to do with it. it's random people.
I wasn't quite that plugged in as a kid. Like
I remember asking my grandma what Osama bin Laden wants, and she was like, "World domination." Because she couldn't explain Islamic terrorism to me.
Well, my mother has this like knee-jerk reaction to anything political. Like my mother hates conflict. Like even if it's like me and my brother arguing over what's better in a video game, she would try and break that up because she hated conflict.
Oh,
and it drove
that's pretty gay.
Nuts. Like when I tried to push an argument. I even remember when I tried to suggest something in a car because car wouldn't start. Guess what the problem was? And I was right when I was like 12. Weren't in gear.
I love this fucking map of Europe. Primarily because, like, for once, like, on one hand, France is missing. And also Iceland is just flipped and moved somewhere else. And those are the only two changes that were made. For no fucking reason. But the world building of Earth is pretty fucking dumb. There's this island, let me see if I can find it on maps.
No, Turkey's pushed up and there isn't a Greece.
No, there is a Greece. It's just cut off, isn't it? Let me see, this is,
Why is Iceland shoved right up against Norway?
The map is supposed to be sort of fictional. Look at Sulawesi, the island of Sulawesi, and tell me that this wasn't drawn on a napkin by a drunk person. Like, somebody post a screenshot of Sulawesi in the chat. Write down what's it called. This is the name of the island.
Oh, I know.
I mean, Jesus. I'm gonna actually take a screenshot myself now and do it because I'm.
That was not helpful, Google.
It just is not. That actually is not helpful. Let me just.
An attempt was made.
Oh, I'm looking at Wikipedia.
Yeah, let me just.
It looks like the skeleton. You know the YouTuber Bird? BERD. He makes the little cartoons with the little birds.
Yeah, look at this shit. Look at this. Who came up with this fucking shape for an island?
I was actually
No.
playing around one day with Google Earth, and I spun like Indonesia and China and whatnot sideways, and it actually looked pretty convincing for a fantasy realm.
And like this isn't some small island. This is a huge fucking island. This isn't like an atoll. This is a significant part of Indonesia.
The island looks like the skeleton of one of these cartoon. Okay, I guess I need to explain Bird, because Bird makes those really short cartoons on YouTube, and the island looks like the skeleton of one of his little cartoon birds.
Like one that you just put. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. I'm into maps. I love maps. Maps, geography, that whole kind of shit. City planning, also, just one of my interests.
I'm gonna turn off all the icons and shit. No, don't put me to where I am, you stupid piece of shit.
And one day, I looked at a world map, and for a second, I was like, this has to be the Mandela effect. Because I noticed how weird Sulawesi looked for the first time in my life. I was like, what the fuck? This cannot be real.
I've forgotten how to disable like nation names and shit.
So was the Gulf of Tomini? Did that used to be like a volcano or something? Is this like a case of? Yeah, it looks like a case of like Krakatoa, where there was a volcano there, and it just exploded.
I don't know, but it's a weirdly shaped island. And if you saw this,
Swear to God,
honestly, if you saw this on a fantasy map, you would go, fuck you. Fuck this shit. Fuck you, drunk ass motherfucker who did this map in Photoshop and just pretended like it was interesting and good. Just, like, go kill yourself. That's what you would say if you saw that on a fantasy map.
Okay, Google. You're just not. I clicked F12 trying to take a screenshot like I'm in fucking Steam.
I've been playing
yeah,
Starbound again.
Give me the crop. Give me the crop tool, you piece of shit. I swear to God.
The last time I played Starbound was during the Steam summer sale, and I was using the soda mod.
I am
that way
using way too many mods. My character's a black Jew. An elderly
Jiu-jitsu?
black Jew named Julius Mencken.
It's like with me playing City Skylines, it takes like 4 minutes for my city to load because I got like over 200 mods.
I can empathize with
I
that.
all my fucking mods for that game. Oh my God.
And then as soon as the city pops up, you get the warning window of like 2 or 3 mods that are just like not
Just
working right. And you're just like, fuck it, I
Fuck,
can't
gotta
be
start
I
again.
can't. Well, it's like I'm just like, fuck, I can't be bothered. It's like I'm not gonna start combing through 200 mods. Just
Okay.
Oh damn! Wait a sec. Fucking my mate Zabi just posted that there is a PLA unit in Shenzhen that's rolling out.
Oh, they're finally moving.
Pictures also confirm my suspicion of it being the motorized division of the 74th Army Group. Holy shit, my man!
What?
I was talking to my dad about this yesterday, and he said this is like gonna be I mean he's kind of a worst case scenario kind of guy, but he's saying this is gonna be like Tibet or Chile or
Hong Kong is such a fucking international business This is going to be if this happens, holy shit.
Now when you say, okay, I get it now. Okay, they're about to shoot up Hong Kong.
Yeah. I'm very
yeah, yeah.
pro Hong Kong
I said-
independence.
I
by the
said
way.
that in day one when they started the right.
But
like,
it's
quote,
Hong
quote.
fucking Kong.
Yeah,
It is
but
one
China-
of the
no, China
international
cannot
businesses.
let that go.
Do you
Like,
know
it-
how?
China-
Do
this-
you
this
know
is-
how
this is
many
China- this
tourists
is-
and foreign business people are in Hong Kong at any given moment?
There were a lot during Tiananmen Square as well.
There's going to be American citizens killed by the Chinese army.
Come on, war. Come on, Third World War. Let's go. Let's fucking
If
go.
they, hold,
This is-
I don't want this to
this
be
is
the thing
China's
that
swinging-
ignites World War III. I don't want it.
No, this is
We
good.
must
This is
protect
China. This is
the
China
one-
swinging their nuts
No, no,
around, saying
right,
saying.
right. The one nation that has legal cause to intervene would be the UK.
And the UK
Because
isn't gonna do
they
a
doing
goddamn
that
thing.
would technically
They-
break that treaty.
That's
and this
true.
is China, and this is China saying "fuck your treaty."
1v1 us, China. Fucking bring it.
But
we
like,
have one
China,
aircraft carrier and no
y-
planes, and we'll still
I feel
win.
like the moment
Dude.
your army kills civilians of another nation, that is casus belli. That at that point you're allowed.
Oh, Casus Belli. That reminds me of a song.
You have to remember China is in a way more powerful position than the UK is. They've got, they're basically building their own
Well, they
colonial
technically
empire.
were last time,
Yeah.
and they didn't win.
Yeah, but last time things were a bit different, you might say.
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna fall for the opium thing again.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
and you gotta remember the UK actually had an empire back then. They don't anymore.
China does.
I mean, it'd be one way to
Yeah.
find out if we still have allies in the world. It's technically, them breaking that treaty is them declaring war on us. Therefore, NATO and Europe should be pulled in.
Right? Creep.
Well,
And
and
if they
well,
don't
and
join, we know how leaving European Union's gonna go.
all I know, all I know is there's a lot of people in Hong Kong who are just like, man, I wish we can.
I watched China Uncensored, and I've been watching some of it as it unfolds, and I'm just like, it's just going to end badly for them.
China Uncensored is the only like political news commentary channel that does it in a funny way that I don't cringe at, and sometimes I laugh because they
It's because
humorous.
China writes their material, really.
It's so fatalistic the way that they just casually make cheap puns over the most horrible situations.
There's
That's
the
exactly
negative,
my kind of
positive way
shit.
this could end is China sends its military and actually loses Finland style.
Oh, that would be great. The fucking triads destroy them.
The thing is,
they just take their umbrellas and like throw them into the tank treads, and the tank treads just shatter.
the tank like does a swerve, rolls over, and explodes. But like,
I was talking to my dad about this, and he said like the biggest, because the thing is with all this going on, Vietnam and the U.S. are becoming more and more friendly towards each other, and Vietnam has actually there's a base. And that, my dad fought in Vietnam, so this is why I know all this. There's a huge military base near Saigon that was a U.S. Air Force base. Then after we lost the war, it became a Soviet military base. And then once the Soviet Union collapsed, it went back to Vietnam. And in the past couple years, Vietnam has offered the U.S. to return back to that base. And he said that would be a great middle finger, and it's like a great power move for the U.S. to go back in there. Because
back into Vietnam.
well, as a peaceful force, because Vietnam's basically offering up the base back to the U.S.
Vietnam hates China. Like,
Yeah,
Everybody
and that's why
fucking
they-
hates China.
well, and that's why they're getting buddy with starting to get buddy with
and
us
I've got
again
another
because,
meme which is perfectly timed.
But yeah, if you look at like Africa and Sri Lanka and even like parts of South America, China's basically building up a colonial empire.
Yeah,
again.
I heard of like a politician in Zimbabwe who was like, please bring back the old European colonial masters. They at least treated us like subhumans. These people don't even treat us like subhumans.
They're
People
unironically
Like people
they're
think the Westerners are racist. It's like, oh boy, have you not been to Asia?
the people in Zimbabwe are unironically playing those weird, sort of racist Rhodesian Bush War music videos that sometimes pop up in my YouTube recommendations.
Wait, what?
For some reason, do you know the YouTuber Masaman? Masaman? He does
No. I may
he
have heard
does
of him
video.
though.
He's basically the guy who talks a lot about ethnic groups and race, but he's not a racist, so that makes him like unique. And I started watching his videos because he talks about like, oh, what's the deal with like German Americans, or what's up with Romani, or what's the connection between Finns and these other people. And he does it like anthropologically, and he's not like a white supremacist or anything like that. But for some reason, whenever I watch a bunch of his videos, I get a lot of videos for like, oh, the glory of Rhodesia and shit like that. I'm like, oh, he may not be racist, but I know who watches his videos now.
Yeah. Oh, there's one I watch.
What's it called?
Masaman, Masa Man or Mesa Man.
Oh man, okay. I'm gonna
Yeah.
subscribe to
He-
this guy. This is actually a very interesting channel.
Yeah, it's fascinating because it's like he talks about taboo subjects, but he does it in a
He's an ethnologist. It's a scientific discipline.
that's the word, ethnologist. Yeah, but yeah,
Speaking of
no,
good YouTubers,
It's like actual
sorry.
proper scientists understand that ethnicity is a thing.
yeah.
But it's like, you know. And my name is Mason. I'm here to inform people on various potentially controversial subjects that most mainstream outlets don't cover or cover incorrectly, such as race, ethnicity, religion, and culture. Most of my content on this channel will center around geography and demography. Two of my favorite subject matters: geography and demography. I love that shit to just an autistic degree. Oh, I subscribe to him with my second channel. I'm keep this open.
But no, check out a few of his videos. My favorite video he did was all about the Confederate how after the end of the American Civil War, a bunch of like Confederates moved into southern Brazil, and there's a few towns and cities in southern Brazil that most of the people are descended from the Confederates.
Really?
I swear, Brazil and Argentina are the go-to for people who have lost a war.
This is
Well,
just
the big thing with
racist.
Brazil,
Brazil is where like the semi-democratic people go, and Argentina is where like the semi-fascist people go.
well, you gotta remember Brazil didn't abolish slavery until like 20 years after the U.S., so it's only natural they would go
Well,
there.
when Portugal's only export is slaves. Because the Dutch beat them to spices, and the Spanish beat them to actual landmass.
I'm gonna go take a big old piss.
But yeah, that shit going down in Hong Kong, it's like,
I sympathize with them, but as Kung Fu Panda stated, one often meets their destiny trying to avoid it.
I never watched. Every time anybody mentions Kung Fu Panda, I think of the Pandarians from World of Warcraft for some reason. I've never watched
that
Kung Fu
conveniently
Panda.
came afterward. And it's like, oh, when I heard that, like, I don't care for World of Warcraft, but when I heard that expansion, I was like, are they trying to capitalize on Kung Fu Panda?
Well, I really became aware of it when a lot of my friends were looking up Pandarian porn on E621.
Okay. I didn't need to know that. It's like I could have subconsciously
sorry.
known that was going to exist because Rule 34 is a thing, but like,
Well, I mean that tends to happen. I mean, when you roll with furries, it's gonna virtually any furry character that's gonna happen to it. I'm
Like,
sorry for mentioning that.
I'm passive aggressive to furries, like, because the problem is they are really good at Makote art, which is not furry, but they do tend to do a lot of it. And
Makote.
is this for
What?
is it time for another wiki link?
Go ahead. I just know
I
a
just want to say
lot
one
of people.
thing. I just want to say one
Oh.
thing. Gay sex.
What about it?
It exists.
It's pretty manly. It's pretty manly.
It is the manliest form of intercourse.
Yes.
Not those people that fuck their cars.
I almost spilled my beer.
Oh, this shows how dumb I am. I play one of these in Final Fantasy 14.
I do. So
Yeah.
my profile avatar is a Makote.
Yeah, she's black with silver hair. And I think she's an archer.
White mage all the way.
Come on, like I'm gone for 2 minutes and you're already talking about fucking weeb shit. What the fuck?
I can't help it. My whole shtick is like, what? Actually, no, I'm not much of a. I say I'm a weeb, but at the same time, I haven't watched anime in like over a year. With, like, the
That's
exception of, like,
that's pretty
clips.
unweebly, my man.
I know, right?
You've
And the last piece of
fallen off the
merchandise I
wagon.
bought, the last piece of merchandise I bought for anything was a Superstar Destroyer.
That's not very weeby.
Again, though, I do play Makote on Final Fantasy 14. That's pretty weird. As a white mage, though, I always wear armor. I glamour everything to look like armor. I absolutely hate stereotype of healers need to be in stupid robes. It's like you're going into a battle zone. Put armor on.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like Warhammer 40k, because I mean, if there's endless
Healers
war,
in
then
40k. If you need healing, you're not fighting hard enough.
if you need healing, it means you failed. especially if you're in the Krieg.
Here's why I don't like 40k.
Because it makes no sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. It's very realistic. There's nothing good. It's all just grimdark exclusively.
For the greater good.
And that
Okay,
makes the grimdark elements of it be just irrelevant. With Shadowrun, you have at least... It's a grimdark world, but you have moments of light. You have powerful organizations and beings who just are legitimately good. You have people trying to do the best in their community. That is what makes Shadowrun so much darker by contrast. But
here's the
40k,
thing about-
it's just bad.
Okay, here's my take on 40k. It's not 40k. There's nothing in 40k is black or white. There is no good or evil. It's shades of gray.
It's just
Yeah, but it's all bad.
no.
There's
I think
no...
it's shades of blood.
No, there is good. There is, like, even in chaos, there is good in chaos. It's just what sells figurines, what sells video games is just the war.
You say
and
that,
death.
but they still haven't reprinted more affordable versions of the Battle Sisters.
Yeah, that is troubling. You know, but I mean, it's like, okay, look at the Battle Sisters when they're not out fighting and being horrific bitchy nuns. They're building hospitals and treating the sick and teaching orphans and stuff. It's just they do spend a lot of their time fighting. But when they're not fighting, they're like good people, you know, and they're...
For what
there seems-
little I understand of Warhammer 40k is that you really just want to fight for the greater good.
The greater good.
For the
And
greater
the greater good is some dead bloke sitting on a chair.
No, I'm referring to
so,
Tau.
oh, the the Smurf commies. Yeah.
It's too dark, too little light. There's no contrast provided. It's like, ooh, this fucking minor faction sometimes builds hospitals. That's never what the story is about.
I mean, you have the salamanders. The salamanders are good. I mean, granted, they've blown up refugee ships before, but it was by accident.
I mean, the United Kingdom's done that as well. Let's not be like, this world's not that or equally dark at times. I mean,
well, it seems like
Ugandan Civil War.
Well, it seems like in the way the story's going, at least in the books, it's like doing the whole, the storm is, like it's darkest before the light, or
what I
something
find
like
funny?
that.
The constraints of like what you can actually publish for like a market means that 40K, like its worse is actually tame to like reality's worse.
Wait,
Like-
what?
Like we as a people in the real world have committed much worse atrocities than what fantasy tends to put out because you still got to market it. Like mass rapes to spread HIV is not a thing in 40K.
Well, they have done some pretty fucked up shit. Like there's the whole thing with the demon Kalaba, which they say, which I guess sort of goes to what you're saying, because they vehemently state that the demon Kalaba is not canon. Don't look up demon. Well, okay, you're gonna look up demon Kalaba, but just I warned you.
Demon Kalaba.
And then just like type in 40K.
Okay, it says Demons Kabbalah, so 40K.
Yeah, and then it should like autocorrect the spelling because I can't even remember.
Okay. There's an attempt to create new Chaos Space Marines from the mutated womb of a human female using the pure gene seeds stolen from the Imperial Fist repository in the world of Hydra Caudatus. Okay, they try to make demon people.
Yeah, by forcing slave women, by mutating slave women so they have giant wombs, and basically shoving
It
like
sounds like a
14
hentai.
they shove like a 14-year-old boy into their womb, and then they
Sounds
turn into
really
and
much
then they
like a
turn in,
hentai.
and then they turn into like a fully grown Chaos Space Marine without any skin. And sometimes the slave woman survives.
And see,
Sometimes.
this is the kind of like cool fucked up shit that happens there because it's a fucked up shit setting. But I think it's mostly in the way that people sort of play it, and like Warhammer 40K fans go with it, where it's all about how cool the like not how cool it is to rape slave women, but like
Tread carefully.
this is also something that happens with Shadowrun, and like many grimdark settings where people will just fucking, I don't even know, it's not even idolizing the thing, it's just like, look how tough this setting is, and look how shit it is to live here, and that is somehow good, and look how nobody's good.
I will admit there's a lot more they could do with the setting, and Games Workshop's, they're trying, in the storyline, because they brought back Rubute Guilliman, and he's got his whole menagerie of like Eldar and stuff, trying to basically fix the fucking galaxy, and they're trying to do more with it, but and then if you look at the memes, it's like, oh, there's Papa Smurf with his big titty elf girlfriends.
Yeah, but that's pretty funny though. I am happy about that move though, that they're trying to get more into that, because if it's just grimdark, it just is the same. It just isn't relevant anymore. You need the contrast in order for it to actually shine.
Yeah, and for decades they were pushing that, like, oh, the Imperium of Man is strictly humans first, no Xenos, death to all Xenos, and now they're like, Well, our top, the leader of humanity has a partner who's an
It is
elf.
so good to be here.
What is
Yeah.
happening? Who is new?
Hi, Berg. It's me. I'm the one that's been muted since the beginning of the stream. Sorry I wasn't able to speak or do anything up until now. I've been moving around 30-pound wooden pallets for like an hour and a half.
As you do.
Say something about lemons. You have your name as Cave Johnson.
Say something about lemons, motherfucker, or I will ban you.
I ate a lemon
Lemons
roll
are pretty good if you boil them with sugar and make lemonade.
Okay, you can stay.
Boil them. Okay, that's legit.
boil them,
Made it
mash
this
them, stick
time.
them in a stew.
Fuck me. I think I must have gained at least like 10 pounds in sweat. Jesus.
Don't you mean lost 10 pounds in sweat?
Nah, it all went into my fucking shirt. It's like fucking 100 degrees where I'm at right now. I just only got into the break room. I feel
So
much better.
if you put out water, it would boil.
Got him.
Because if that's not what happens, do
well-
not call it 100 degrees in this house.
100 degrees Fahrenheit, Berg. I'm in California, not Germany.
Pleb, and I thought California was meant to be progressive.
California, more like
Well-
Califahrenheit. Ooh.
Well, I got raised by a Republican, so if there's one thing you can't call me, it's progressive.
What are you doing that's so loud? Because it's loud.
He's
Sorry,
washing
it's
his
the
hands.
TV. That and there's a TV in the break room. That's why there's like a little bit of background noise.
Oh yeah, the TV I almost didn't notice, but okay.
Or we could hear you messing about with the towel dispenser.
Yeah, sorry about that. Like I said, I'm just covered in sweat right now, and it feels good to get it off me. Yeah. In a little bit, I'm probably gonna turn off my mic again and pop in and out because I gotta ride a bike down a busy road again.
Have fun with that, dude.
Well,
Stay
that's what I
hydrated.
gotta do.
Stay hydrated.
I will. I already got a bottle of water in hand, and I'm gonna refill it with Gatorade on my way out of work.
Ah, yes, Gatorade. The best thing to hydrate.
More
yourself.
like straighterade. Ooh.
Got him.
God, I love just calling, just exchanging the syllable, some syllable of something, and then making it be gay, or the other way around with straight. But it's funnier when you make it gay. I don't. It's like the dumbest joke that exists. Just calling things gay. It's not even like approaching funny or smart, but it makes me laugh so fucking hard. I don't even know why. It's the dumbest shit. I just wanted to say that into this, just people who just don't have anything to say
I
about
remember
it.
what that was from. That was a review for Forza.
Which is why I'm called Mr. Rogers Gayborhood on the Discord, just to make this clear that that's what that is about.
Okay, I can't find it, but do you know the Twitter page? Something like everything is gay, and like a few times a day, it'll just post a word, like a random word, and gay.
No, but I will subscribe to it immediately. Everything is gay.
I really like I really like the fuck everything Twitter, because sometimes it'll tweet out something like fuck feminism or fuck gay people, and people lose their goddamn minds because they don't realize that it's just a bot saying fuck everything.
Okay, there's one.
I mean, I don't get the whole what's wrong with fuck gay people? Isn't that what gay people want?
There's
to do?
one everything is gay and it has 0 followers.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't think that's it. I couldn't find it myself. I'm checking like who I'm following right now to see if I can find it.
Everything
Okay,
is
yeah,
gay.
every word
what?
is gay. That's the one.
Oh, everyone. Oh, okay.
No, every word is gay.
Hey, so Burger, do you have anything sort of like a homeowners association over there in Germany? It's
For
like
people who-
it's like a group it's like a group that sets a certain number of rules for a neighborhood, like regarding lawns and shit, so that way there's some form of cohesion and uniformity within the neighborhood.
I think that those things exist for like neighborhoods where people own homes. I don't own a home, so I don't. yeah, they probably exist.
Well, they're a fucking well. They were a good thing here, but now they're a fucking plague. Cause I just posted a screenshot. Homeowners Association says Army vet can't fly the Puerto Rican flag.
That's not something that they should be allowed to do. I don't think like in Germany that wouldn't
That's
happen.
Texas flag, isn't it?
No, that's
No,
Puerto
that's the
Rico.
Puerto Rican flag. Yeah.
What's wrong with Puerto Rico?
I'm just gonna say for the record, homeowners associations are fucking pseudo-communists. They can eat my ass.
Yeah. I have yet to meet somebody who likes homeowners associations because they overstretch their authority.
I know
a
that
lot.
there's
Like,
Wohnungsgenossenschaften, which are like they basically they own buildings and they're like. Can you cave your hot micing? Can you please put headphones into something because I'm hearing myself talk.
or do
Wait,
push
me?
or switch to push to talk.
That's weird because I already have headphones in.
Okay, that's
Mike's
not how.
left
Are they very loud?
No, they're like earbuds. I literally have earbuds in.
How the fuck does that work?
Wait. Oh yeah, it's doing the same with me as well.
What about me?
Wait, you can hear yourself because I can't hear you. If I talk, can you hear me over Freestwalker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear none of you over Freestwalker though.
Weird.
Really?
Maybe my audio is too high.
Probably.
This is some strange ass shit. What was I talking about?
Homeowners Association.
Oh yeah,
the
there's
German
this thing
version.
called the Wohnungsgenossenschaft, which is basically like well, they own houses and they rent them, but they're not like landlords in the sense that when you rent from them, you are part of the organization, and though they own all the flats, you also like have like a stake in the organization, and they're a group of people who like they make sure that everyone has a home, and then the things are properly maintained.
I think what he's referring to is like these associations which are like all the houses have to be like organized in the similar sort of style.
No, that
Grass
can't. No,
has
I
gotta
don't
be
think. I've
maintained.
never heard of something like that existing in Germany. Actually, I mean, there's like certain laws that you have to follow, but if you do, if your house looks like shit, people in the neighborhood are gonna look at you weird. But that's it.
Yeah,
I
and that's
live next to-
understandable, but a lot of these places they have rules on, like I've heard I've seen like some have rules where it's like you can't have a pickup truck in your driveway.
But
It
what are they
either
gonna
has to-
do? What are they gonna do if I want to fucking fly the Puerto Rican flag in my house?
will
What the fuck
legit
are they gonna
fine you.
do? It's my house.
Yeah,
They will fine you.
they'll fine you, and then if you don't pay your
How are they gonna
fine,
fine you?
they'll
They're not
go-
the fucking government. I thought this was America.
It is. That's why private citizens can fine you. It's capitalism, baby.
How does that work?
I'm really grateful that homeowners associations aren't a thing where I live. They're a big thing out there in California. and
No, but how the
Florida
no
and shit.
seriously? How would that work legally? They just put a letter in the mail. You have to pay us $50. You just don't do it.
Then they sue you.
But what is the basis? You did something on your own private property that isn't illegal and that you have every fucking right to do?
what they get you on is when, and this is the fucked up part, because I totally agree with you, Burger. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to defend this, but
No, I know,
totally
I know.
agree with you. The way they get you is like, oh yeah, this is a nice house, isn't it? You really want this house. You want to buy this house, don't you? Well, when you buy this house, you have to join this homeowners association, and when you join the homeowners association, you agree to follow these rules.
Well, buy the house and leave. Just say no. I don't want to be part of this organization. They can't keep you in there if against your will. That's fucking kidnapping or something.
I think entrapment is what you mean. Yeah, people have been fighting homeowners associations for decades now.
What's this
But, like,
fascist shit?
It's
Holy
a really
Jesus.
fucking middle class problem.
Yeah, it's a real middle class white person Karen problem. You know.
Also, Burger, one of the reasons that they can't leave is that when you do it, you actually have to sign a contract to get in and get the house. And part of the contract is the homeowners association. So it's kind of an all or nothing deal.
But when it's your house and you have paid for it and you own it.
But you still had to sign the contract to get in.
Yeah, but it cannot be legal that you Freestroke, I'm gonna have to mute you because I can just hear myself. It's just not possible. It cannot be I'm sorry, you're muted. It cannot be that's like basically allowing people to sign their lives over into slavery. That cannot be legal. To put that clause in the contract. And when you put a clause in the contract that isn't legal, guess the fuck what? That contract is no longer valid.
It's funny you should mention people signing their lives away in a contract, basically into slavery. I think you never heard of the company towns. They used to be a thing in the Western U.S. Where yeah, basically that happened, where you'd sign people out east who were super poor would see these advertisements about move out west and make a fuck ton of money mining coal and gold and silver and all this, and they'd sign up to go work for these mining companies, and they go out in the middle of fuck all nowhere to a company town, and they were basically trapped there. And they had to buy all their supplies from the company store. They had to live in company housing. They had to participate in company activities. And they'd be in the middle of fucking Montana or Idaho.
Capitalism's a great idea.
How the fuck is the land of the free like the most both communist and fascist nation in the West at the same time? How does that happen?
This is why they're
It's so
20.
hilarious that I'm crying.
It's like it's the reason why they're like below 20 on the National Freedom Index, and England is above them. England, my pug's a Nazi, to prison with you.
Yeah, it's like, no. Well, that's Scotland, but I see what you mean. Yeah, what the fuck?
Well, at least
the freest country in the world, statistically, is Norway. The Vikings have raped so much that they have now had enough and going full democratic.
Oh, yes.
It's like, nah, man, we're bored of this, like, monopoly of shit. Fuck it. We're gonna have democracy, and it's gonna work.
I can't.
Oh god, if you want your brain to really boil over with these company towns, a lot of the times they didn't even pay the workers with money. They paid them with company script that they could only spend at the company store.
Like I get the
script as in like the script tones that I get my special armor in Final Fantasy script sort of payment. That's not actually.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like gems, isn't it?
Yeah. It's basically monopoly money. Because it's no good anywhere other than the company store.
I love that the freest nation on this statistic is Hong Kong. Not for long.
Well, the highest economic freedom, definitely Hong Kong.
It's Singapore's time to shine.
Well, in like Henry Ford, people talk about how great Henry Ford was because he instituted like a minimum wage of $5 a day. You know,
I
back
would
when that
rather
was a
kill myself.
well, back then that was a lot of fucking money, especially when the average worker made less than $1 a day back then. You know, but there was a lot of strings of attached to that. It's like you couldn't be an alcoholic. You had to plan to get married and have kids. You couldn't be gay. You
Well,
had to
I
be
plan to do
Christian.
that, but the problem is no other woman wants to plan that with me as well.
To increase your market value, my man.
Yeah, Henry Ford. Yeah, he did pay his workers $5 a day and instituted like I think it was like an 8-hour work day, but there was a lot of strings attached to that. You basically had to be his vision of the perfect white
On a side
American.
note, the people that get away with this are geniuses. I'm just going to say that they're using the system perfectly. Anyway, back to the topic of it being evil.
Yeah, yeah. What was really funny was how he tried to implement how he what was it he was trying to do? It was in the 1920s. He tried building an American colony in Brazil called Fordlandia
Ah,
because
yes.
he wanted a secure supply of rubber for tires and hoses and shit. So he was like, I'm gonna buy like 40,000 acres in the
Are we sure
Amazon.
he was playing capitalism or Hearts of Iron?
No, it's
Secure.
like genuinely, right? If you're the people who make the storylines for Shadowrun, all you have to do is study American history.
Yeah, just go Wikipedia Fordlandia. It's an amazing story. It was a huge fucking disaster. Because essentially he buys like 40,000 acres from I forgot which province or which state up there in the Amazon. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna build a rubber plantation. We'll go ahead and we'll hire the locals and stuff. What he didn't tell the government was, oh, I'm gonna bring down thousands of Americans and I'm gonna build my perfect American society in the middle of the Amazon. Eventually, I think the state found out about it and just got like really pissed off about it, and it just ended up being a huge fucking disaster. Because guess what? That doesn't fucking work in the middle of the Amazon. You can't do that. It just doesn't fucking work because the people who went down there fucking hated it. It was humid.
Well,
It
it's the
was
middle of the
wet.
Amazon, of course people fucking hated it.
Yeah. Yeah, just Google Forlandia. Henry Ford was fucking nuts. And he was he really liked the Nazis as well.
As you do.
It's, imagine having all these lines of Shermans being made, but then Henry Ford's making Panzers.
That's essentially. I mean, I don't think the factories in Germany were made. I think they were building. What were the Ford factories in Germany building during the war? I know after the war he got those factories back.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean,
Yeah.
most people did.
Probably Heinkel's.
Well, it's like I know with Coca-Cola, because with Coca-Cola, that's how we got Fanta, was because
Yeah.
they couldn't import Coca-Cola anymore, and then
See you around, Wookie.
Coca-Cola.
Later, bud.
Yeah.
Keep on going, please.
And then yeah, when Coca-Cola got their German subsidiary back, they got Fanta with it. But I don't think I think only like one person out of that company was arrested.
I mean,
for
it's
ties with the
not
Nazi
really
Party.
illegal to make a new soft drink because of the war.
Well, it was more due to their ties with the Nazi Party than with running the company.
It's so many people who were active
let's just go
Nazis
on.
and
Like,
shit
when you
went
rebrand-
into politics, into the administrative apparatus of Western Germany and Eastern Germany after the war. Because you need people who know how to run a country if you want to run a country. And those were the only people who knew how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I need to find that video of like the temporary the Rump Reich. That's what it was.
The Rump Reich. Oh, you know something I learned that actually I found really fascinating. After World War I, when Germany essentially devolved into almost a civil war, I never knew that Bavaria was like a socialist republic for like
Oh
I
yeah.
forgot for like a couple
The
months.
Oh
Bavarian
yeah.
Revolution.
Yeah, the Bavarian like Socialist Republic or something like that. I just found that fascinating.
Bavaria is a fun nation to play in EU4. There's a lot of potential.
Can I see that that's Fordlandia?
But yeah,
Uh,
there was a
uh,
Nazi government in power after victory in Europe. You know, to try and reorganize stuff. Because, you know, Churchill's a fucking mental nutcase in many ways.
oh wow, there's still buildings up in Fordlandia.
Yeah, apparently
I
there's like fucking stores and shit.
Oh, I underestimated the size. It was uh 14,000 square kilometers of land. That's okay. That's way more than I thought it was. Holy shit, that's fucking huge.
Yeah. And yeah, there's houses here and there's a fucking basketball pitch and shit. It seems it's on Google Maps as a place where you can go.
Well, I mean, after Ford abandoned it, I guess the state was like, well, they left all this stuff here. We might as well use it.
When you're like Ford had the luxury of leaving, like obviously the Brazilian populace couldn't leave, and there's infrastructure there. Might as well fucking use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Vietnam when the French left. It's like, and the Vietnamese will criticize African nations that destroyed everything. Like,
Oh, the
after
Chinese will
West-
do that also. It's a dumb move. It's just
Like,
it's so,
people
it
that
just speaks of
destroy, like-
pride. Too much pride. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, the pride
you
in
drove
Africa. Oh,
them
yeah.
away. At least take their shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Vietnam took everyone else's shit and fucking ran with it. And now they make
Well-
great ASMR videos of massage parlors.
Well, before when East Germany and West Germany were split and then formed into their respective countries, like a lot of factories in the East that weren't taken by the Soviets, like BMW had like a huge factory in East Germany that before the war was used to build cars, and then during the war was used to build airplanes and jet engines and stuff, and then afterwards went back to making cars. But there was a weird time like before the Trabant and like the Wartburg came out, where you could buy a BMW in East Germany that wasn't built by BMW, but they had, and I think they like changed the name of them to E and W, like Eisenbach Motorworks instead of Bavarian Motorworks. So it's like, if you go to like antique car shows and stuff, you might see like a vintage BMW, but if you look at the badge, it's instead of BMW, it says E and W. And it's like, oh yeah, that's one of those that was from the same factory, but it was just in East Germany. It's just like the fact that the factory was there. Let's just keep building cars, I guess.
It's the right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Beto O'Rourke expected to announce relaunch of his presidential campaign in El Paso.
Wait, he dropped.
Apparently he's dropping back in, isn't it?
They
I kind of thought that the Democrats are solidifying around Bernie Sanders or
Oh, it's way
Harris.
too early for that, but hopefully, yeah, it's gonna be Sanders. Fucking.
if they don't do Sanders, they'll lose again, and it'll be disastrous.
Well, it could also be Tulsi. I think they could get away with Warren.
Well, Tulsi, the problem with Tulsi is that there's the whole she's too much of a diplomat, and also the fact that she has to bounce to go serve in the National Guard because she's still doing that.
The
Which takes time.
The American people don't want war anymore. She's like this. She's pretty. Tend to be pretty on board with what she's about. Except for like India shit. But most Americans don't even know what India is. So Would you mean Indians? Okay, I'm gonna unmute you. Please don't hot mic again.
Hello.
Well, like I mean, people out here in the sticks know a little bit about India because the Mahindra sells tractors over here.
The irony is, I'm sure PewDiePie did more benefit to India with the whole versus T series than anything India's done to try and make themselves look more in the modern view.
Yeah, they're a pretty backwards nation in terms of, dude. It's
God.
still the Echo. It doesn't. I cannot
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, the echo's pretty bad now.
It's fucked up,
Sorry.
Priest Walker. I'm sorry. You have to fix that. I don't even know what's causing it if you're having headphones in. It's just, but your mic is picking up me talking.
Oh yeah, speaking of India, since we're talking about emerging superpowers, how do you like it that the two biggest emerging superpowers both have regions where they're brutally oppressing the locals, with Hong Kong and Kashmir?
Oh yeah,
And they're
and
both
you
doing
know,
it at the same
Tibet
fuck.
and fucking everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I had someone argue with me that Tibet was Chinese, and I was ready to throttle him for the fucking
I mean,
monitor.
Tibet is in China, but it's not Chinese.
They were also saying like Manchurian is Chinese. It's like
Manchuria is also in China. It's not fucking Chinese, isn't it?
It'd be like saying
Yes.
Scotland is English, and it's like that's how you get beaten up in Scotland.
Well, it's owned by England, but it's not English.
Actually, when we go on about the ownership of the United Kingdom, there's an argument to say that no, Germany owns them because German monarch.
That's
or
true,
Dutch,
actually.
if we want to be really specific.
They do. If you do Christmas Eve on the 24th, and if you open the presents on the 24th, you're German, and
No.
the British royal family does that.
I know.
I don't
that-
understand
that
why
was-
people don't do that. It's just from like a. Why would you torture your children in this manner?
You see, this is the part where it's like I really want to break away from the Christian traditions that even my family do. We're all atheists, but we still have Christmas, and I'm like, why have Christmas? I would shift that like presents and shit to the new year and celebrate like a new year rather than just some weird birth of some hobo. Silence.
Only
That's
seen
why-
the
that's-
Hateful
that-
Eight, was not impressed. This is the second person who doesn't like Tarantino that I have seen in 2 days, and that it makes me angry, frankly.
The thing I liked about being an army brat, especially having an American dad and a German mom, I was about to say German grandmother, German mom, was that around Christmas time I got presents on the evening of the 20. I got like they let me open like 1 or 2 presents on the 24th, and then I got to open the rest of my presents on the 25th.
That's pretty
So
cool.
it's like I got. Yeah, so it's like they merged the two, and then they also had, I forgot the name of it, but it was around the 6th where you leave your shoes out and you get like chocolates.
Yeah,
and,
Nicholas.
and Nicholas. So you get chocolates and marzipan in your shoes. I really like that. That was fun.
They do not do that in the United States.
No, everything centers around the 25th.
You know what the best fucking thing is? Is in the Spanish-speaking world, especially like Spain itself. They don't. It used to be the children didn't get presents on Christmas. They got them in early January at the Reyes Magos, the Three Wise Men festival. That's when they used to get presents. But eventually, cultural osmosis took place, and now, if you're a kid in Spain, very often you will get presents on Christmas and then also on the first weekend of January.
I know a lot of Jewish families who do the whole Hanukkah thing, and then they also celebrate Christmas. So like the kids, the Jewish kids in those families that do that, they're not the Orthodox Jews, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's like it's like they get like a ton of presents for Hanukkah, and then they get even more presents, on the 25th. And I'm like, damn, you guys are lucky.
Ironically, the capitalist thing to do is not do presents at all and save the money up for investments in future.
Which is
One
why
thing that's taken-
capitalism bad.
Yeah.
I think we should
Orange.
just. I think anyone that's not religious should shift that mentality to the 31st and celebrate just a new year.
200,000
quarter.
sign a petition to rename Trump's Tower Street after Obama.
What?
That-
Yeah,
that-
well, and they can actually get that. They can actually do that. It's not that
Yeah.
difficult to rename streets.
that is
What?
that is fucking that is pretty cool. I hope they do that. Because I just hope because it would be the masterful
that's
troll
one
move.
way. That's one way to find out who it was that you were having that conversation with. It was Sito. I forgot about that. He private messaged me. Very funny.
For some reason, that reminds me of the classic picture when Walmart pulled out Germany. The picture they used as like the headliner for it was a Walmart. Apparently, in Berlin, there was a Walmart on Karl Marx Strasse, and they always and like every picture of the Walmart had the street sign in it, and it's like, funny.
Yeah, we just don't react very well to people like fucking with our workforce like the way that Walmart did. Like this, one of the like when people I remember distinctly people talk. I was little at this point, right? I remember distinctly people talking about, and when you work at Walmart, you have to smile at customers. And and they were like, "Oh, what the fuck? That's disgusting. How would you make someone do something like that?"
God.
What's so funny is that they don't teach. Is that because I know a few people who've worked at and do work at Walmart, and they never mention that in the training, because I mean, I guess they do that because it's like, well, everybody in America smiles, then we're an American company, so you should smile too.
No, when in Germany, I was at the supermarket today, and the cashier was nice to me, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is something that only very rarely happens." It's like we're there for business, and I'm not there to make friends with the cashier. You know, you're courteous, you don't insult them, you're friendly, but you don't fucking smile.
I'm very analog with my purchases in person. Like, I'm glad machines are taking that role over. It speeds it all up. God forbid you stuck behind an old grandmother.
Now I'm just remembering this morning when I went to McDonald's to get a breakfast sandwich, and I just ended up striking up a small conversation with the old lady who's a cashier. And I'm just like, and now I'm thinking back at it, I'm like, man, that would look so fucking weird to a non-American.
No, I've done that like late at night when nobody was there.
I realized that Asda is a subsidiary of Walmart, so technically I work for Walmart, like really indirectly. I work for ABP, which sells like beef to them. You know, your 5 pound fucking packaged meat.
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised that you know more capitalism fund in the land of the free. Walmart is starting to purchase slaughterhouses so they can do their own in-house beef, and they don't
Walmart
have to purchase.
beef. Are you sure you want that?
Well, they had to follow certain rules, but yeah, I can understand.
I think actually, if I said anything about that, I'd break a contract somewhere.
Okay, my guys, we've been going for over 2 hours now. I'm gonna end the stream at this point. Thank you, everybody, very much for watching. And see you around, cunts.